Boop 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 No.
Experiment done, I think, in the 50s with bulls. There was a professor at Columbia University who located the part of the bull's brain that would stop them if they're charging. So what they did was he personally, a Columbia professor, would enter the bull ring with a live bull charging this professor at Columbia. He had a button, he pushed the button, and the bull stopped immediately.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? I'm just doing like a little mini clip champs tutorial. I've come to really love clip champs in Canva. What's up, music, 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 man?
Experiment done, I think, in the 50s with bulls. There was a professor at Columbia University who located the part of the bull's brain that would stop them if they're charging. So what they did was he personally, a Columbia professor, would enter the bull ring with a live bull charging this professor at Columbia. He had a button, he pushed the button, and the bull stopped immediately.
So, let's get started. Also, I gotta bring this up real quick. 1 second. So I made that video a couple of times, and each version sounds way different. Hang on 1 second. My dog is trying to eat some plastic trash bags. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're a good dog. But anyways, it's okay. So this is. Let's see if you can hear it. Let's make sure that I chose this one. Yeah. Oh, awesome. All right. Tell me if you hear this. looking at, I made in Clipchamps, and then I drag and dropped it over. Then every sound you hear is down here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of sounds, but there actually is. First thing that is really useful to me is you can zoom in and out. And if you want to take a moment and figure out exactly what you're hearing, you can read it, but if it turns out that it's too small, maybe you're zoomed out so it's too small for you to be able to tell what it is. If you click on it, then, hang on, the name, there it goes. The name will pop up. Then you have this really cool sidebar, right? So if you click on speed, you can literally speed it up, which means that every sound you have is so much more dynamic. Because, like, let's say you have that one car sound, right? It's going a particular speed, but you can speed it up, and then you can put them back to back and make it sound like a car noise that takes off really far. So that's noise. But if we wanted to, right, we can, let me make sure I'm actually looking at it. All right, so that's the one we isolated. So it's lit up in purple. And this is the normal speed that it's going at. We bring it backwards. It gets longer. That means it sounds slow-mo. It's going to sound weird. We drag this bar over to anything we want to listen to. So that's like what our cursor is on when we press play. See how it sounds more like an engine that's dying versus when it's here? And then it sounds like this. Also make it run way faster. Which also tends to pitch it up a little bit. I've noticed if you slow-mo it, then it pitches down. You make it go faster, it pitches up. Hey! Oh, you went off and you did something else? Hey, music. Yeah, that's the program that I've been using. I really love it. It's called Clipchamps. I just wanted to give people an idea of how to use it. It's really fun. So I've been changing the way that I do my 7 days stream. So now it's supposed to be this surreal experience where it's someone's time capsule. When there's been like a zombie apocalypse and they're doing research to try and figure out why people turned, and they go out and then there's going to be found footage for when they're searching during the day, and then at night they come home and they play 7 days, and because it's what they used to do is play and stream it, they still play and stream it. So that's what the stream is supposed to be. If you look over here, this is the catalog of sounds that I used for this. Many are repeated. You can slow them up or speed them down. Speed them up or slow them down, right? One thing I realized is what you can do to help it seem like you're moving in, because the idea is this video is like blind, right? So you're just listening to the whole thing, almost like a radio play. If you have it turned down, and then you just repeat it, and you can turn it up, and it's like you're getting closer. I had a little dog break. A little jailbreak with dog. You want me to walk any of the dogs? But my dad gave me permission to keep watching the your sister
pressure washer, but I don't want to do that. If it was up to me, tell the landlord, he fixes it. That's part of the landlord.
That's true. Okay, everybody needs to calm down, alright? Sorry, that was a little dog break. That's many dogs. That's not the program, sorry. Okay, wait, we're back. We're back. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how I built this video. That right there. That right there is something really cool, actually. Hang on. So I'm going to show you how I made that in Canva. I've done it so many times now that I can do it from scratch. We're going to hit create. We're going to choose landscape because it's 920 by 1080p. Choose that. You don't need anything else. A blank canvas is actually better for us at this point. When I click on it, start isolating something. And then stop it! Sorry. I did not mean to yell in people's ears. We're going to choose. We're going to scroll down. You're going to choose the wheel. We're not going to go into the wheel because they have some basics already here. They have a matte black. We're choosing the matte black. Cool. Alright. Now, we can right-click this and we can duplicate it, which is fucking magical. My favorite thing about this, actually. I know it's stupid, but it is so much easier because I didn't realize that for months using this program, and I painstakingly make the same frame over and over again. You're gonna see what I mean by painstakingly, right? Okay, so if we go to elements, which is super cool, it keeps some of the things we recently used. So what I did in order to find these is I had to search them. I've been searching them every single day for 3 weeks. And then things get updated as time goes along because they have something called live artists. And what that means is there's different artists that are constantly adding to Canva, and then their ideas are bought, and then you can pay money to be able to use their different ideas if they're high tier enough, right? But some of them are not considered high tier enough, right? So they're still really great. So I can play with like their aspect ratio. I can stretch them, and it's not gonna fuck them up. So now we have that guy. So this is what he looks like without anything being done to him, right? I like this because it looks kind of like a face, but also it reminds me of stuff from my actual childhood. Like, that looks real. So we're going to leave that the way it is. Only we're going to click on it again, and then we're going to go over to... Actually, hang on. Okay, click that. Alright, so it's different if you're doing it on the computer versus the phone. If you go to transparency, I like to go over to transparency and tone it down just a little bit. In this case, we're going to leave it up. We're also going to do animate. So they have this new thing, literally was not there the whole time. They have this. So if you go over to animate, you have all these different options depending on what you're trying to animate. If you were trying to animate letters, it would be totally different. Oh, no, I appreciate that. You can stay if you want, though. I'm really talking to you at this point. Anyway, so if you go over here, old TV allows us to do that. I didn't know that was there, so I actually made something similar to that. But what's cool about this is it also, I don't know if you can tell, but it changes the color scaling. So it goes from just grays to having that like more noise, having the greens and the reds come through, which is really useful. We can go with this, which is amazing. I love that. So what we're going to do is old TV first, right? And then actually we're going to get rid of that. We don't need it, actually. We're going to duplicate the, actually we don't want to duplicate that. We're going to put this here. Gonna stretch it out. We'll make sure we stretch it out the same way every time. So we don't end up making it too different. Although if it jumps a little bit, that's fine because that's in keeping with what it was actually like. Right? So now it should look like a little jump, a little bobble. So we're gonna leave that there, and then we're gonna do click, animate. Instead now we're gonna do the chroma wave. Okay, so now that looks right. Now we're gonna go over to, where is it? There's an area for the color. I'm used to, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit more used to doing this on my phone. Other people play games. I play with Canva instead. See if I can find the color. Oh yeah, hey, let's see. It's on Twitch. Gilded Mirror 44. Sorry, another friend is trying to see what we're doing here. Let me just send him a link. Share link. See, where is he? Doop a doop doop doop. There it is. Yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, you do have to jump off, going to bed soon. Oh, it's nice seeing you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. We're in the animate window. We actually don't need that anymore. We can close that. We can delete that other one. So let's go back and see what we have so far. What I would also like to do is shorten it. So what we do is we isolate the thing we're about to mess with. Then we come and we hover to the side. And then instead of staying right on the corner, because this is going to be our transition, we don't want any transition for this. So we go a little bit in and then we drag and click in with the left finger and then we drop it right at that line. So much easier than all the other programs I've ever used. So that's up. And then also, alright, so I don't like that it goes in and out, right? We go to animate. If we click this, and it brings the animate bar back up. We can scroll down and we can look at all the different options. I'd rather look at what we already had. There we go. So if I click on it again, so let's go out. I click, stop it, go out. There. If I click design, that's totally different. It gives me a new template. Let's do that just so we're away from it, right? But anyway, so we click on this. I wanted to see what the effect was, so I clicked on it again. That takes it out of preview mode and into just flat what it is. I click animate. It brings me the list of animations that I can choose that are eligible for this thing. And then it shows me the animation that I've already chosen, which is super cool. But now we can actually tweak it over here. Now we can't tweak the speed of it because if we did, we'd have to go ahead and pay for that, and I'm not going to be doing that yet. My birthday's around the corner, I'll do that then, depending on how expensive it is. But we can choose where is it going to place the animation. Is it going to be at the beginning of the frame and the end? Where do we want it to be? I only want it on enter because I'm making my own transition for it. Right? So I know that you're probably wondering, like, what's the timing? How many seconds? I just remember what it was like, so I'm going off of that. Perfect. So we actually don't need most of this. The point was now, alright, we do this. Now, this is going to be weird. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to get rid of, actually we can leave it there. This here. And then we're going to start to fade this. Hit transparency. We're going to bring it down until it looks a little bit grayed out. That means more of the black is coming through, right? And then we're going to go over to elements. Then we're going to scan. I already have all these up because I've been making the same thing over and over again. And we're going to put this over it. And we're going to stretch it to the corner. Now it fits it perfectly. I don't know why just stretching it one way works, but it does, so whatever. Kind of reminds me of the really old version of Paint Shop Pro. If you clicked in the center and you pulled down or you pulled up, there would be this thing in the center that looked like a little circle with this like triangle that you were stretching away from it, and that was supposed to mean that you were stretching the whole outside frame. But if you just go from the corner here, that works. So, oh yeah. Now we're gonna also have to bring that down because we need to make sure that it transitions. There's a way to do this without having to do a manual transition, but that includes money. We're not doing that. Go over here. Right? It's gonna start to be that sound. This is coming up. Now let's see if I remember how to do this. Actually, it's a clip champs thing. Doing the break. Boop, boop, right? And we're gonna duplicate this right there. If you watch the animation, there's a point where there's a jump. There's a sort of figure eight right here in the blackness, and then there's like a jump with it where it kind of ooh right? It's like it opens its maws, its mouths, and then it closes back. So I'm going for that point where it's back to being closed. Stop it!
Can you do me a
Let's see. I don't know. Is anybody still there? Guys, thank you for waiting if you're still out there. Okay, guys. Alright, hang on. I'm surrounded by dogs. I gotta get them out of the room. Okay. Eh, let's see. Remington Limiton. I wish that I knew how to say your name correctly because I really like it. Thank you for coming back. No idea if anybody is still here. But I'm back. Sorry about that. Our dishwasher, not our dishwasher, our washer has been broken for like 3 days now. And my roommate has been bailing out the washer by hand. For those 3 days, he's been insisting on doing that. I went ahead and I actually paid somebody that I know to allow me to use their washer and dryer. And they're not having a good day and they asked me to make them some food. So I went ahead and I did that real quick. So we can actually stop this right there. See, okay. If you want to look at, which you kind of need to for a moment, just for a moment, class. We'll go ahead and turn the vibrancy back up so you can see it better. So we're looking at this right here. This is like the super VHS thinging. So goes doop doop doop, disappears, doop doop doop, disappears or disconnects. So it goes up to about here. Not exactly halfway, we'll say 1/3 of the way up. And then it disconnects. See, there's a rift that starts all the way down here, about halfway through that 1/3. Disconnects up here, and then it actually poof, fluffs away, right? But when we make it a little bit more transparent, so it's harder to see, now we see a smaller portion. We see more like a quarter of that one design, and we see the top of the rift that disappears. So right here, when it's actually separated the most, it's actually where I'm going to click on this again. So now I've chosen that. This is just a representation of what is actually happening. So we need to click on that in order to choose it. We're going to bring it back here, exactly where we left the line. Think of that like a break, only it's not a break because we're making two separate things. We already duplicated what it was like before, and now we're going to click on this so we can actually work with the animation that's sitting on top. And we're going to bring the transparency up so it's going to be a little bit more vibrant. And then we're going to watch it and we're going to choose where to effectively cut it. Doop, right when it's disappeared, click on it, drag it here. And then right click, duplicate, get rid of this guy. We actually still don't need it. I don't know why I even bothered having it. This one, right, click on that again. No, this one, bring it up a little bit higher. So let's see how it looks. It should be nice and fluid. Nice. So you can still tell where that other video starts, but it's in keeping with what it's supposed to look like. It actually helps to emulate a VHS tape even better. Sorry, chewing. It's dinner time. So here's a fun trick. Maybe you've done all this and you've decided that actually you want an actual video to be playing behind this guy and behind that guy, this window over here is, by the way, just for the animations. It shows what you've recently used. It's not like if I click one of these, then I'll be isolating with these. It's that I would be adding something else on. But there's really, really cool function. You can choose layers. Let's see. Maybe it's position. Yes. So it reads differently. If you're on the phone, then it'll read as just layers. And this bar doesn't exist up here on the phone. It's the whole bottom of the screen. And this is teensy weensy. And you can do it like that. You can do it like that. But on the phone, this whole section here is more like all the way up there. It's like a man in the 40s with his pants pulled all the way up. But anyway, so bring it back down. So we can literally drag and drop the layers. So what I can do is I can use this as a blank canvas to put a video, which I'm about to do. We can choose one of their stock videos. Like this guy right here. Kind of actually perfect considering the story that we're telling. I went ahead and I actually recorded some like video and sound footage of me running at night like an hour ago. I'm super excited about it. You're gonna have to make it even bigger so I can cover all the entire thing. Now let's look at it, see it looks okay. Okay, click that. So let's see. Trim, no. Speed, yes. I think slower is better. I'm sure there's a gross joke in there somewhere, but if you want to be able to see what you're working on a little bit better, by the way, there's this little corner thing down here. It's not all the way up here because this is just for viewing what you have so far. So what if we want to change the colors and stuff, right? So we can animate it, we can position it, we can copy style, which we really, it's so much easier to just right click and paste. We can round the corners, which we don't need to do for this. We'll do that some other time. Playback speed, we change the speed. There's no sound on this video, which is fine because we're going to make our own sound. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So I like to, I probably do this a little bit too often, like to bring that down. So we've superimposed this on a black background, so as the transparency goes, it's looking just a little bit darker. It's not going to help if we wanted to straight up make it look like it was a nighttime shoot or anything like that, but I think it just helps to blend into this. So now we've done this, right? So we can do this amazing thing. I can't wait to show you because it took me a month to try this because I was just pissed off, so I tried it. We're going to click on it with our left app. And we're, fuck you, do the thing. Do that thing, you bitch. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe do it this way. I just want to see text. Yeah, sure. Okay. And now we have it. Yeah, it's right there. Isn't that this amazingly easy? Like, what the hell? I had been struggling with so many different things. But now, okay, let's also go over here. Let's go to position. This needs to re-click on these. And boop. Just like that, we have a messed up tape. So let's go ahead and take it from the top. And then I'm going to show you guys, oh yeah, let's go over here actually real quick. So I'm going to, this is actually really cool. This is something that they have in Canva as well. But let's go over here and let's make something from scratch so you guys can see what it's like because it's really, really cool. Oh, wait, that's Canva too. Fuck! Sorry. Alright. Go back to home. After using it every day, I started making this really fast. Ooh! Broodles, noodles! Quasi. We're gonna make our own soundscape from scratch. We're making the visuals for it. And now, let's see. Create a new video. Thank you. We chose the blankest of blank, and that's actually really important. We're not gonna bother to import media yet, because we're just gonna stick with the sounds. Because we know approximately how long it takes to watch this go by, right? It says it right here at the bottom. 2.8 seconds, and then we have that jump. We can smooth over that jump by going over here and clicking add transition. And then that will actually give us a preview of what the transition would look like. And that would be a great one. If we wanted more of like a 1970s vibe, we could choose swipe and dissolve, the two over each other. So that's dissolve and then slide. They used a combination of this and that for the oh boy, what was it? Never mind. It was this show about this woman that worked at a radio station. Anyways, we're not gonna actually need that for this. It would be better just do dissolve. And then duration, we'll make it shorter. Alright, now let's see what it'll look like between. Perfect! Right here is where we're gonna have sound start to come in. So, we're gonna say 3 seconds, like 3.8 seconds all total between these two. And then come over here. So we're gonna do this real quick. Content library. This is the content library from the program, not from us. We can also load our own library of sounds and videos in. But for this is all I've been using. I haven't been using any music or annotations or video stuff. Well, I did try one video thing, but we're just gonna look for sound effects real quick. That's music. Where is it? Where did it be? There it is. Sound effects. Boop. These sound effects are so cool. And here it's trying to help us get it started, but we don't have to start off with video. There's Clipchamp selects, which are super cool. They're just sounds that are especially cool that Clipchamps has, I guess, the market on, like they actually create it. And there's some that you'll actually recognize from commercials. That is a perfect sound for us. We're going to add that on. That's absolutely happening. Now first, we can also search for sounds. If we go over here, we can put old TV at TV. The thing about it is when we search for stuff, I've noticed that the first options that always come up are the ones you would have to pay for. With the other program, Canva, which both of these are owned by the same company, everything looks like a crown if you have to pay for it. With these guys, it's a little diamond. We don't have to go that way. There's always another way. We're gonna do this. Stop it! So we're also gonna put this. Can literally just do that. Now the other one is going to self-adjust to when that one's over. This is also way longer than it needs to be. We're gonna click it. And then, let's see. It's been a whole day since I used it. I'm gonna go right there. And I believe that's how, isn't it? Let's see. Split right there. It's literally that easy. So I suggest, you don't have to do this. I suggest bringing the cursor thing over to right about where you want it to split and using that as a measuring tape sort of thing and having it like approximately 3 clicks over from where you actually want to put the split. 1, 2, 3. And then we're right clicking and we just choose split. Fucking fabulous. Oh, we just delete it. And then if we want, we can leave all that space. And I really like doing that because we can click on the sound, like just like in Canva where we isolate what we're working on. We can choose the speed. We can slow it down, or we can speed it up. Let's see what this one sounds like again. I don't remember. so that's fine the way it is. Well, let's see. We don't want to fade in. It should be jarring. It's a jarring sound. And honestly, it should be kind of overlapping over the static. So let's go back over here. And this is one thing that's kind of weird. So we're going to click this again. Now it's going to make a whole other line. We didn't choose where the line was going to be. It just made it, right? It's actually really useful. Let's just scrunch it and then drag it. Scrunch it and then drag it. You'll see why in a minute. Let's actually zoom out too. Make it faster. Right. So now there's not going to be any space between the static sound, and then this guy, which is technically also a static sound, but we want it to be really jarring. But then for really old videotapes, I remember sometimes the static sound would continue even over that point. It's just that it would sort of fade down into a sound that was less terrible or a little bit more palatable. So we're going to make sure that it's overlapping. So we have the space in between and it's going to overlap into the next video. We're going to make it a long enough duration that it can actually kind of pan out, but with sound, right? So we click it, and then this is how loud it sounds. This is how loud this version sounds. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a higher pitch. We don't need it to be that loud though. We want it to go way down. And we want it to be a big difference in how loud it is. So there you have this one, and then it becomes this. Which is almost like it's not there because it's so much quieter. This one also doesn't have to go on for as long. Let's see how long that is. Edit duration is about 8 seconds. It's a little bit too long. Look at how awesome that is. Now we're at 3 seconds. Now we're going to put this right before the butt end. And we're going to drag this over so that we have an overlap. So that's the stagger. And then whatever sound you want to create next that you want to continue, think of it like a trifecta. This is like a pillar holding everything up, connecting things together, and then that new sound is going to be right there. Also, I've noticed once you have more than one line, if you click up, then you can add things to that line. If you click over here, then you're adding it to that line. It's just super duper simple. So we have the turning on the old TV sound, then we have static. We have that sound. Let's hear it all together. Stop it, Coco. Okay, great. Now we can start putting other sounds in. Probably nobody here has ever watched Monk, but I did a lot. Sound effects. So we can make this sound like anything. Oh, that's one more thing. We need to make that fade out. So we literally choose fade. We can choose how many seconds we want it to fade out for. In some cases, if it's long enough, then it just means that this is going to have to start, right? If there's only 3 seconds, it's going to have to start at the 2-second mark. Or actually, I guess it's going to have to start at the 1-second mark. But for this one, because it's really, really short. So that means for 1 second, it's going to be as loud as it can be. And then for the rest of the time, it's going to be fading out, which is fine. Because eventually you want it to disappear. We're going to duplicate it. Now we're going to click on it. And then we're going to make the fade out a little bit shorter. And then we're going to go over to audio. And we're going to make it at least 10% less than what it was. Although we don't have to do it that gradually. We can actually drop it more. Because the longer of a fade out you have, the deeper or the more stark of a difference in terms of the volume that it will end at versus what it started at. So considering that the length of the fade out on this one is almost the length of the entire clip, it's going to be practically silent by the time it's out, or it should be. Unless we didn't do that right, which is fine. Now if we position it a little bit further back, so there's a little bit more of an overhang, That just means it's going to help to make this sound even more jarring and loud, and this one even more peaceful. But look, it's in the wrong spot, because if we do it here, there's going to be silence in between. It's going to be really noticeable. We're going to drag it down and put it right by this guy. So now it should sound really fluid and like a real TV. And just to be sure, it would be cool if I could have two, let's see, coal. Well, you guys won't get to see it this way if I do it this way, but we're gonna go ahead and do. Here, let me try and be a little bit faster about it. Pause! We don't need that. Boop. Close that. Cool. Alright, there. Ready? I lost internet connection for a second. So right here, this second mark, let's see how many seconds went by, because it just stops once all the sounds stop, unless you had more stuff up ahead. That's gonna be like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. So I think it's gonna be a full one, another one of these. I can duplicate that and use this as like a, just like a space, a way to keep that space open to remind me where to start the next sound. And we can do that. We can make it like the story is they have a lookout and the lookout's telling them it's time to come out of the building. And duplicate it. I'm gonna make it really quiet at first. Is at 19. So this one, I'll make it 30. Let's do just one more duplicate. And let's also make it sound like they're really laying on the horn. Unless it, sometimes you manipulate sounds and it just sounds really weird. So we'll say that was their Morse code. If I could only remember Morse code, I could actually have them beep in that code, but it is what it is. Okay. So right here, I've noticed what really helps with transitions and stuff is going really slow about it, and then also having like another sound, like a bridge sound. So we have the horn. Let's also go for something more atmospheric. Maybe you're looking for something atmospheric. Well, if you click audio and you scroll down, they have sound effects, and they actually have a section for atmosphere. Ambiance. Let's see. This one always takes me by surprise because it feels real weird. Yeah, you see the figure 8? That's cool, right? This is one of my favorites. That's a great one. That's a great way to start something. Let's make the speed a little bit slower. A little bit slower. As this all goes on, the speed will go faster. Let's let it fade in. And let's change the level to being a little bit lower. We want it to be in the background, helping to create and like set the stage. I still think the wind sounds a little bit too loud. Alright, now get a little bit of space. Let's put walking sounds. So we leave the sound effects up. And then we look for human. We're gonna use this to make us feel like they're zombies or the person in question is feeling pressured and scared, right? We can also use this sound to make it sound like a zombie. What I did with the other one was I slowed it down and then I cut it off right about here. Anyways. This helps with the running sound. We have steps right here. That little thing at the end is really useful if they're supposed to be stopping to listen to something. So I'll use that as like a way. We'll put a strange sound right there. Just as, but the only way it works is if a strange sound happens right here and then they react. So only have from that's from 24, 25, and 26 to make something, right, 24 and 25 to make something interesting happen. So let's leave that right there. And then let's choose a, well, actually, you know what? Let's establish that this, like, normal things are happening. One thing that I noticed works is have the sound down, just like everything else, follow the same idea. Let things fade in and let things fade out. So let's let it actually fade out a little bit. The sound is really low. Well, not really low. Everything is surprisingly loud in this. I'll make the speed slower. Let's see what it sounds like now. It should be right about there. They're gonna go. Yeah. Alright, we're in between steps. That's the sweet spot. Let's choose a weird sound to get their attention. Now we can go straight into scary. And make that really, really quiet. See what it sounds like. I'm gonna make this speed really slow. Actually. Still a little bit slower than it should be, but I think that's a good thing. And we're also gonna let it fade in. So it's overlapping. Everything is about layers. We're gonna put something right behind that break so we have something that leads us into that break and covers that break so we don't hear it. Let's see. I'm gonna go. It's actually a little bit too early for that. We're gonna have to put that more like right here. Make it really quiet. Make the speed a little bit longer. See. Nope. Too Now, what's going on here is there's not enough sound, so we're gonna make some more atmosphere. What I did last time was the sound of like a beachside town.
Huh?
Found way down. Make the speed just a little bit slower than it should be. It's just too soon for the group of people. It'd be nice if they had like a whisper sound. Yeah, they do have some really cool transitions too. machines. You. From what I've seen, you can have like 10 lines in this as well. Duplicate, duplicate. So we're gonna keep the volume really low here. Then here we'll have it like 30. And we're gonna keep it at 30 for the rest of the recording until it's supposed to be like they got to the car. Gonna let it fade in. Let it be a long fade. How long is this thing? One thing I hate is that how it shifts up. We don't need to do that. Hate that sound. That part in the middle, that's the sound that I hate. So we're gonna make the sound even lower so we hear it. Oh! Why were you at 100? Oh, we should never hear the difference. There. We'll add them in later. We don't need them right now. I don't know if you guys can tell but how it's growing. I started off one line, one thing at a time, and then it became a second one, then it became third, became fourth. And we also had stuff above. We're gonna have, let's see. This is like our baseline. This was the TV sounds, this was the heavy wind sound. I'm gonna try to keep all the atmosphere sounds in there. Hey, it's going really well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Let's see. We're gonna go with, we're gonna make this another seaside town just because I know how to do that really well. Ambience. Ambiance. Stormy winds. Here's what we got. That's what we have over here. So I'm gonna click in this space. So what I put there next goes there. Click in that space. Same thing. Ah. Fuck you. Right. Duplicate. I find it easier to keep track of everything if I keep the same type of sounds with the same type of sounds. And over here, even though that one says heavy wind, we're gonna switch to Either stormy winds or thunder. The tricky thing about having something like rain is that then when we have the footsteps should be sounding a little bit more wet, and there's no way for it to do that at the moment. I've heard so many different videos and movies start off their audio transition with this sound. It's kind of funny. So let's go for it. It's also, let's keep it kind of low though. And then it can grow. We can add that to our media, or we can add it to the timeline from there. So, I'm gonna have to get rid of the water sound. It's just gonna have to be rainy. I mean, windy, not rainy. Where are you, water sound? Gentle trickle. Because the only footage that we have, not so wet. But you know what? There's another sound we can have. We can have the sound of the birds. I don't know if you guys ever been in like hurricanes and stuff, but one thing that changes instantly and lets you know that maybe you should leave is the sound of the bugs and the birds go away. So we're supposed to be walking through ruins and abandoned buildings, right? So there would be the sound of animals and there'd be the sound of bugs. Let's see if we can find some bug sounds. See, that's a good boy. He's trying to warn us about stuff. Oh, well, wait. We put that good boy way too early. Hang on. Put him right there. We're gonna make it so he's like really far away. We can barely hear him. See what he sounds like. And then we're gonna put him again. We're gonna make him a little bit louder, and we're gonna make him a little bit faster. Like, hey, hurry up! A thing is happening. Like he's trying to help us. Let's just do one more. But now, see if we can make him sound. Well, what does he sound like? That's actually awesome. That's awesome. Ah, I love that. Where do the footsteps start? I take out the footsteps? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? There's a dog on my lap and she just jumped. Oh shit, that's not what I meant. Sorry. Ugh. Fade in. Audio really low. But like right there, that last bark that sounds kind of weird. We should have a big jarring noise, like a boom or a clang. But I also need to see where the footsteps are, so let's zoom in. Also, I think let's get rid of the shimmer. The part at the end is the shimmer. Scroll down. Cool. I'm glad I got rid of the shimmer. All right. Where are the footsteps? The footy footsteps. There's the walkings. Alright, we can also go with Foley, which I straight up forgot that was named. I was actually looking for that most of the time when I was first using this program. Like, what do they classify that as? The ones where it was people actually in a studio, they had like two shoes and they were pretending to walk, and someone had like a little horn and they had a big batch of books. What did they call it? It's Foley. Fucking Foley. I don't like that. That's why. Let's give it like a little space. Where's our other walking sound? Idling, idling. There's our other walking sound. Still works. I just don't. So that's one thing the program does I don't like, is it'll just populate something that you want to put anywhere where it would make sense for it to be, except for where you necessarily want it to be. Like I'd prefer to keep all the walking sounds in one spot, which I can do, but technically the walking sound is longer than that, so it's trying to be thoughtful in that way. But we can um, copy what we make over there and paste it right here. It's still a little bit too long, so that's why I did that. Now we're gonna have to go down here and look for that other walking sound. And get rid of it. Now we need to find a boom crash kind of sound. Paste it. That was always longer, so it should allow us to. There we go. It's good not to rush it, although you would think that you should rush it. Is that one called? Dog barking. Alright. Let's try to keep the animals on the same track. Well, we'll keep the dog over here. This one will be with other animals as well. The birds here. Holy real. Let's go back to animals. Speaking of animal, this one is so fidgety. The animal that's on my lap. So fidgety. Stop moving! For the love of God! Animals. Get all the way down. 10%. That shimmer sound is still too shimmery. Where did it go? Gradual shimmer. Let's replace that with something else. We just need another transitional sound. Although we're using the birds to transition and the wind transition anyway. In my opinion, the idling engine still sounds way too close. So put that at 11. Put that at 17, because I know we're supposed to be building up. That 11. But all the baselines for the engine that never change at 11. It's really useful to have one thing that just never changes. That way you can have something else go up and it'll be like it's building on top of it. And it creates this sort of thickness and it feels like there's more, even though there might not be. At least that's what it feels like to me. Ah! You! Let's see about how long is that? I think putting it here should give you more than enough space. And so it does. Transition. this fade out, I think. That's 15 seconds long, so stop it! Stop it! Right there. Gotta put a sound effect right there, right there. We need a big bang. Booms and impacts. Yup. Fuck you! Why jump all the way up there? There is no there's tons of space. Tons of space. Fuck. Let's see what it looks like. We're gonna zoom in now. We can zoom out now. Let's just... I like to use this line to line things up. Alright, have that. Now we really need to have that sound of the footsteps stopping. Let's move this over here. Let's click over here. Let's close that. Let's go back to humans. Where's the humans? Or even the Foley. Foley would work as well for walking steps. Yes, we choose a that. Great. And then let's see. I don't think it's gonna line up yet. Can you imagine you keep walking through that? Doof. La 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 la. No. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see, where else do we have space? Oh, that's a good space actually right there. Actually, no, wait. No, it's not. Ah! I know it probably seemed crazy to allow the footsteps to go away and then to bring them back louder, but I think that helps create this expectation in your head that the person was walking away from the quote unquote camera and they walked back around. That's what I imagine anyway. So from then on, you can get super duper crazy with it, right? You can keep going and going because of doing it the way we did it. We have some different like establishing things going on. And we know that this is going to be the sound for like for the wind and for the TV, the static over here. Cause again, it's like we're looking at a video, or we can also use that just to bring up that heightened feeling of almost surrealism by having a static sound. Especially where for some people when they get scared, maybe they do hear ringing or static in their ears. But then after that explosion, we can actually find something that sounds like ringing, and we can cut it, and then we can slow it down or speed it up and just duplicate over and over and over again in order to sort of pitch it up so it sounds like ringing in somebody's ears. And we can really slowly let it sort of unravel into being something bigger. And it's just like it was just a lot of fun, and I think that it has a lot of I don't know, it has a lot of scope. You could do so many cool things with this. So let's make sure this is rewound all the way. This should be shorter. It's matching it up, so it should be shorter. This one is going to be, hang on, this one is just going to be black actually. I want it to be like poof and then black. Alright, let's see if we time things any better now. I like doing it this way because if I actually save everything, then everything's committed, and then it is the way that it's forever going to be. But this way it's still malleable. Ooh, that one was much better. Ah, no, it went too early. That's really the whole process. That's the whole thing. So, like, we were over here, or I guess we were over here before we heard the explosion. So this went by a little bit too fast. But we could even have, we could duplicate that, pan over, do a different animation so it looks like it's flickering. No, not that one. Let's see. We need that flickery flicker. Shake zoom, no. Chroma wave, no. Not that thing. Skate, gradient. I don't know what that is happening over there, why that keeps happening. You know what? Neon. Neon is one of my favorites. I can't super duper stow. Okay, ready? Hang on. One last time for tonight, and then we'll call it quits. I know probably everybody else already called it quits. But thank you to whoever it is that's still here. Super appreciate you. According to my screen here, it says there's only one person. Thank you for being here, one person. I really appreciate it. I know it froze. Hang on. Gotta start over. That's dope. That stays. Right, Coco? You agree? You guys can't see it, but she's smiling. She's smiling with her little face. You're missing teeth too? Why are you missing teeth? Don't do that. You and your brother just alike. Is that it? You have a little face. You have a little face. You have a little face. Alright, so let me name this. We're gonna. It's funny. We're gonna name it Refined. Find scary escape. I think the biggest issue I made with my other ones was just trying to kind of rush it. Like, oh, I can't let this be too big of a recording, but maybe that's the right thing sometimes. So, anyways, we're gonna look for Coco. Stop moving around. Coco's running around. Nature. What is at 100 again? Why are you at 100? All these bitches. Something important to note if you're doing something like ocean surf, it never stays at one thing. So if you have it go up and down, that's actually really good. So sometimes it should be louder than others. I hate that one sound. That's because there's nothing in between it. It's not gonna be like that for long because we're gonna go over here. We're gonna do, let's see. No, you're related for sure. Stop it! sandstorm. Well, we can't use any of those paid for sounds anyway. Oh, there would not be any more bird sounds after that. That sound right there is what I hate the most. Aha! You at 100. Who told you to be at 100? You little shit. Okay, so I gotta put this little dog on the ground because she keeps getting up on her feet and scratching my legs so bad. still much louder than everything else, which is good. We're gonna be using that one a lot. But not today. But we will. What's this again? Trotting run. This is running steps. What are you? Sound and design whooshes. Use a sound design whooshes. So we're gonna bring it this way, so hopefully we don't have the sound of that stop and turn. We can't have both like that though. I'm gonna get rid of the walking. It's an explosion, right? Honestly, I think I'd rather just have it sound like she just started sprinting. Volume. Boop. Volume. Boop. 1%? No, it would be 13, 14, 15. Alright, we need another sound over there to help cover that one up. She managed to run away a little bit too fast. So let's see. There's also a way to save. I have to remember how actually. I can install the Clipchamp app. Absolutely doing that. A really cool thing also is because we named it, this is being updated every couple of minutes in its own save file. So we don't have to stay here. We can go back to home. And it's going to be around for us to get to. It's going to go to our videos, Refine, Scary, Escape, The End, which was another video I did. Well, that's all I really wanted to show is how awesome and fun Clipchamps is. Hopefully somebody wants to go and try to use it too. Alright, oh wait, let's end with my... not that guy. Not that guy. One second, guys. I want to end with something I made. Media source. This is something I have to come up with sounds for. I really don't know what to do for that one. I do like making the speed slower. Thank you, I appreciate it. This thing was all Canva. That was my first month using Canva. I love it. I think that particular one would be better with all like natural sound effects, birds and whatnot. That might be too slow. Hang on, let's a little bit faster. Yeah, that might be better. I'll show you guys actually because I can show you on this other page, not that one, this one. I can show you some other stuff that I made with Clipchamps and with Canva. Let's see, how do I go back to I just forgot for a second. File. Let's go back to home. So zoomed in. This is something I made a little while ago I really like. It's supposed to be like that straight to home video, like now at a home theater near you. Nearly made mine. I'm bringing my PC. Oh, cool! Oh, exciting! Actually, I could have showed you that on the other one. I'll show you the Canva videos that I made for my Baldur's Gate stream. Let me just add it real quick. Media source, blue black modern, futuristic esport, this one, my favorites. I made this in Canva. I'm not gonna lie, this took like 3 hours to make in Canva, but I love the way that it came out. If you look really close, then things overlap really well. This one, I started on the computer and then I finished on my phone. You can tell because there's all this extra space on the side. Oh wow, I can have it oscillate between designs. Or not oscillate. Why do I keep using that word? That's not the right word. I can have it switch between designs. That's really cool. I made this. I made that. Let's see. Let me just show you all the ones that I went ahead and recorded and I put up here. Modern futuristic esport, old silent movie,
An experiment experiments done, I think, in the 50s with bulls. There was a professor at Columbia University who located the part of the bull's brain that would stop them if they're charging. So what they did was he personally, a Columbia professor, would enter the bull ring with a live bull charging this professor at Columbia. He had a button. He pushed the button and the bull stopped immediately.
And the point of that is that then it goes into the next video, which is supposed to be research that she's been doing. And the idea is like, she doesn't know this is going to be the end of her life or not, but in the meanwhile, she's going to do something creative and maybe create a blueprint for other people to be able to get out, or at least a time capsule for herself. I forgot to put in the sounds of a keyboard, but I figured if I was actually, because I'm kind of pretending just that if it was me, I probably wouldn't bother putting in the keyboard sounds. I put an S. I put an S. I put an S. Terrible. I can't take it out. It's very quiet right now. Way quieter than it should be. Oh, that's right. That's why. That's why it's so quiet. Sorry. It's so quiet because I decided I'm not going to actually save the audio that I made for that video on my computer until I go ahead and I get that solid state drive so I can expand the memory on my computer. The sound that goes with it is pretty cool. It's also pretty crazy. I went ham with it. I had a good time. Let's see. Oh, you guys can't see it anymore. Let me go back over here. Here. Yes. Oh, cool. Look at that. Recent signs. See y'all. Oh, this was something that I recorded off the TV the other day. What's going on? Oh, I get it. I didn't actually save it on the computer yet, so it's coming from my phone, and I think that there's only so much you can do when it's just on your phone. This was like the third time I was practicing doing this style video. I kind of like what I did with it though. I put some other stuff into it. Stuff that nobody would ever see. So during all this, there's actually lots of sounds. It's basically the same scenario. Someone realizes that they took a little bit too long below ground searching in this abandoned building, and now they have to get back to the car. But in this scenario that she's living, it's like she's actually living in the 7 days game that I love to play. And in 7 days, after a certain time, the zombies go crazy. So it's like, oh, you need to get back into a building or to a safe place by a certain time of night, every night. So the idea is she took just a little bit too long, and now they're starting to wake up and have their full power and their ability to run and everything. So the sound of the car running gets closer and closer. She's doing everything she can to outrun this giant supernatural storm and the monsters to be able to get back into the car on time. But so that's a video that doesn't have any sound right now. This one, I wonder if this will even play. It will. I didn't make that part, by the way. No sounds? Still pictures? Why are you still pictures? How dare you? No space? I ran out of space? Bollocks. This video hasn't been uploaded to Canva. To upload, use the device video is on and notify the owner. Ah! Lies. This is a is that gonna play for me? No. Well, that's up on Instagram, but this is a album cover that I made for a friend. That's them, actually. Oh yeah. Arr. I'd love to be able to just look at the videos. Hello? I just want to be able to show my friends. So she's actually singing in that puzzle piece. Like her face is moving and everything. These are pictures for the Amazon landing page that I have to finish making. That soap. Dog, what are you doing over there? Stop it. Sorry, there's a little dog. Anyways, thank you for being here. Fitting this into your schedule. Ah! Too many. I gotta fix this up now. Alright. Thank you. I will leave you all now. Oh, I cannot spell. My phone died just in case you sent messages. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I was actually saying that I'm gonna sign off for now. I basically have to fix up the stream for next time. Oh my gosh. If you get a chance, I highly suggest that you watch the stream that I did yesterday because it was crazy. The game was on crack. It was absolutely crazy. Definitely take a look at it. Alright, bye. Thank you.